All right, thank you. All right, I'd like to call this meeting of the Wilton Board of Education on Thursday, May 28th to order. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda? I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Is there a, I'm sorry. I'm not sure who is speaking. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the agenda with moving item E1 to putting it after D3.
So moved.
Thank you, Mandy. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Ruth. All in favor on the board, just raise your hands. Okay. All right. That's unanimous. All right. Now it's time for comments from the public. These are through email to Lucille. Lucille, did you receive any public comment?
No, I did not. I just checked again. No comments.
Okay. All right. And there'll be one more opportunity at the end of the meeting. The consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thanks, Ruth. Everybody's on mute, so. Mandy, I think, seconded it. All in favor, say aye,
Yes.
or raise your hands. All right,
Go
consent
ahead.
agenda approved. Board chairs report. I think that's me. I'll just keep this brief. Just a reminder to everyone who's listening that the Board of Ed unanimously adopted a flat year-to-year budget increase that will go a long way towards providing our kids the resources and programs that will be needed for next year. And it's also contributing to a model where the mill rate actually shows a decrease. So public comment is being collected by the Board of Finance up until the last day in May, because they meet June 1st. So there's only three or so days left. So if you have anybody listening, we just encourage the public, in lieu of voting, to please notify the Board of Finance your opinions of the proposed budgets for next year and the mill rate model that's been posted on the town website. All right, that's my report. Superintendent? Report? Kevin?
I don't have a report tonight. Nope. No report.
All right, thank you. Committee reports? I know business did not meet. Did teaching and learning?
No.
Policy?
Next,
Okay,
No.
Policy
All right.
we did not meet.
okay. All right, so that brings us, I hope, to the, we moved the action item, discuss and approve the Wilton High School class of 2020 graduation plans. We had invited some students to attend, so Bob, hopefully we can get them up on the screen, or if you could start us off.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list, and I don't see Rashad, Maddie, or Patrick in the list at this point.
Are we moving too quickly, perhaps? I was trying to do them a favor by putting us close, putting us towards the beginning of the agenda.
I told him 7 o'clock.
Okay, well, it's just barely past 7. I have a note that says Patrick did not get the link. So maybe if somebody could send the students the link again, and we'll proceed with the agenda and then double back. Is that okay?
Yeah, Lucille, can you do that?
All right, and now I have a note that says he's waiting, so I'm not sure if that means he's waiting in the waiting room.
All right, stand by. Let me take a look.
Okay. No worries.
I didn't see. I'm just looking at the list of attendees and I don't see. Yeah, I don't see
I think that
Patrick's
means
name.
waiting for the link. I don't know if that means he's waiting. She's retyping.
Yeah, that's true. I think they perhaps just need the link.
Okay, so we just need to. Okay, so if somebody can.
Password.
It looks like they're getting the link right now. Amy said they're sending the link. Thanks, Amy.
Okay. So did I already remind everybody to vote, or not to vote, to just talk to the Board of Finance regarding the budget? I could just say that message again.
It's an important message.
It is, it is, it is. And I realize that, you know, June 1st is literally right around the corner. All of a sudden, May's over.
Yeah. Debbie, it's a bit out of order, but do you want to take 5 minutes and hear from Kathy, Jen, and Lauren? They've got their plans pretty well in place for their end of year.
Sure. Yeah, if they don't mind. All right, yeah,
Celebrations.
they're all here. Okay, yes, and we'll gladly wait on the graduation till they can get in.
Yeah. and
Then I
Let
think
me-
the other two students look like they also need the link. So anyway, let's proceed with the update on the other schools, and then as soon as then when the seniors get on, we can hear from them. So I'm not sure, Kevin, who wants
Great.
to go first, whether you want to start at the youngest school or.
Yep, and these guys can just take 2 minutes. We'll start with Kathy. We had sent all of our plans
Okay, great.
to
Thank you.
Chief Lynn, and so we got some support. So Kath, why don't you go ahead and just give us a 2-minute update.
Okay, well, for any of my teachers listening, they'll be so excited because we wanted to make sure we definitely had the final go ahead. So we are planning some Zoom buys at Miller Driscoll School for preschool, kindergarten, and first grade, all on different days. So the information will go out to parents tomorrow. We're hoping to also coordinate the picking up so the parents can pick up the students' things. So we're hoping to get that coordinated as well and do all of that. So we have some fun things planned for the Zoom buy, and then an extra special picnic for our second graders will be on June 5th. So Skip Floss is working on a little surprise for all of them. And then we actually have a virtual magician, and then some really fun links for activities that they will do after that. So we're looking forward to a fun day. And then on the short week, we'll do our celebrations of learning. Those will be done by classroom. We'll celebrate the portfolios and then a lot of the other work in some of the specials that the kids have been doing. So that's it. So we're really excited.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you. Terrific.
Jen, you want to give us?
Can everybody hear me?
No, you sound kind of funny, Jen.
Not well.
A little spotty. All right. Why don't we? So must be the weather. Why don't we come back to Jen? Since Lauren is on. Lauren, why don't you give us a minute on what you guys are up to?
Absolutely. So our celebrations focus on our 8th grade students, and we are, in addition to our virtual Soaring Ahead ceremony, that will be, a link will be shared out at 6:30 on June 8th. So we hope that many families will be able to celebrate simultaneously. But of course, the link will work for folks who want to watch it asynchronously as well. And then also on June 8th, we are going to have I love the Zooms group, but we're having a caravan for our 8th grade. They will, we have a time for each 8th grade team. So starting at 10 o'clock with 8 yellow, 11:15 with 8 green, and 12:30 with 8 red. And it's just an opportunity. It's a no-stop event. Kids to drive through and see their teachers, and we're very excited to show them just how much we miss them and how excited we are about their transition. We are not actually trying to handle locker clean out in the same event. We will be handling locker clean out on a different day, and all of those details will be sent out to parents tomorrow as well. And we also have some virtual award ceremonies. Our typical grade level specific award ceremonies are also being done virtually, and those are going out. The 6th and 7th grade will go out on the 9th at 6:30. I think that might be all I have to report.
All right.
Great. Thanks, Lauren. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Jen, are you in a better spot at the moment, or shall we come back to you? All right, we're flexible. So why don't we, we'll save the meal for later.
Okay, yeah, we can wait on cider mill. Jen, whenever you're through with your technical difficulties. But I just wanted to introduce the next item by saying we are so excited to say that the students from the graduation committee are able to join us. So Bob, if you could introduce everyone, and I just want to make sure that the students feel really welcome, and thank you so much for being here tonight. And we're so excited to hear your plans. We've been reading about them, hearing a little bit about them in other media outlets, but it is so great to see you sort of face to face and hear from you directly as to what your plans are for the class of 2020 graduation. So Bob, if you could do some introductions, thank you.
Sure. So to the Board of Ed members, thank you for having us here this evening. And we're honored to have 3 of our truly outstanding student leaders here with us tonight. We have Rashab Ranawala, who is our student body president. And then we have 2 additional class officers. We have Maddie Panino and Patrick Burke. And of course, we also have our senior grade level principal, Don Shells. And the amazing leadership of Rashab and Maddie and Pat and his other student colleagues on this committee has been wonderful all throughout. And we've been working on a major plan that includes 3 major prongs, those being a car procession through town culminating in the high school in very exciting fashion, and a virtual ceremony, a virtual graduation ceremony, and also just some really nice plans for follow-up photo opportunities for families to be able to memorialize the experience and truly enjoy it. So the students are here tonight, and they really want to speak a little bit about the process so far, but most importantly, how we're moving forward. We had a really exciting meeting yesterday where we made a lot of progress and worked on a lot of the details. So most importantly, let's hear from the students, and we'll start with Rashab, and then I'm sure we'll hear quite a bit from Pat and Maddie as well. Rashab, thank you for being here this evening, and Maddie and Patrick also.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for the, I'm in the car right now, so it'll be hopefully my connection doesn't time out or anything. But thank you so much for having us. We're very happy to be here to sort of explain our plan. The committee, with students, parents, and administration and teachers, we put in, I think, a lot of time and effort into making a plan that we felt would best simulate the graduating student experience sort of held normally and held by towns around us in the current situation. We try to include as many special elements as possible to ensure that students really had a special opportunity, something that was above and beyond what's normally given for students during the graduation process. And we'll, I think, get further into that. I think that's pretty much the introduction.
Thank you.
So,
Maddie, you're on.
So we had a lot of different ideas, and we've really gone over really any idea that's been going around the whole country right now as potential options for schools. And we truly did explore I mean, any and every idea you could think of. So, oh dear, where'd this go?
We can still see you.
I don't know where it went. Okay, there it is. Sorry. Someone called me and it's
That's okay.
So we looked into like drive-in, movie theater graduations. We tried to look into a social distance graduation. We tried to see if we could do a combination of different graduations, but ultimately we felt that there were a few things that were incredibly important to us for the graduation as a whole. So the first thing I think is like the number one thing for the kids on the graduation committee was we wanted to do something where we could be all together. So there was an idea of splitting people up, and you would basically be able to graduate on the traditional stage and different sections. Everybody would have a different time slot, and we thought that was choppy. It was going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of people, you know, organizing everything for a lot of days. So we just felt that that wasn't really the best plan for us. So that's basically how we came to a car parade. It was, we were able to get that approved. We were not able to get a social distancing ceremony approved. And we figured it would be a really fun thing for the class to do, kind of a big last hurrah since so many of the senior events were canceled. And it's also a really amazing way for the whole town to get involved, you know, chalk on the driveways, balloons on the driveways to decorate the streets, everybody coming out in their lawns and waving at us. So that's a very vague explanation of our plan, but I don't want to cut anybody else off if they want to explain what we're doing in the parade.
So we're still working on getting the route set right now, and that should be ready soon, hopefully. So the idea is we're going to end under the bridge, and another idea for the decorations is to have a balloon arch that we would drive under, and there will be signs for every senior covering the route for the procession, and it's going to be exciting. I think we finally have a lot of support behind it, and it's going to be good.
That's great.
Plans like to help spice things up as we go. We're gonna have like a Spotify playlist for everybody to play when they're in their car. The decorations, as Patrick was talking about, we have photographers that are gonna capture the moment where the student quickly gets out of their car and gets their diploma and possibly some sort of like little cookie or some sort of like goodie bag type item from one of the administrators. We're going to have 2 stations on either side of 2 lines of cars handing out diplomas to just kind of keep everything quick and everybody moving. I think it's going to be really fun. So.
Mm-hmm. So am I right? It's going under the bridge at the high school is where the route will end?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then you'll have 2 lines going under?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so in a car, I assume there's a graduate per car with his or her family?
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to decorate the cars? All right. That will be interesting. That'll be fun. Okay.
And it won't always be 2 lines of cars. It's going to be single file, I think, most of the way. And I don't know what the route is going to be yet because the police still have to get back to us. But at some point, the cars are going to come into 2 lines so that it just speeds the whole process.
Okay, great. I read that there, in one report, there had been like that whole kind of grabber device or picker or whatever. And I think that got like thrown by the wayside, which I personally am happy about, but am I correct in saying that device is gone?
Yes.
Yeah, it's out of the plan.
Okay, good. All right.
We're looking forward to personally handing the diplomas to the students with proper protective measures and really making that a special experience for the kids. And we'll have enough administrators to hand them out so that we'll have as efficient a car procession as possible while making sure that we're taking time, you know, to acknowledge and say congratulations to each and every student along the way.
Yeah, Dr. O'Donnell's had me stretching already. He wants me to stretch every day between now and then. so that I become elastic enough to do this.
Okay. All right, great, great. What about music? Somebody said there a Spotify list. Are there other plans for music, or can you describe that?
So there are plans for.
So right now.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go
ahead.
Yeah,
so there are currently plans for the orchestra to. I think right now Mr. Malofin is working on securing the rights to Pomp and Circumstance. So the orchestra may have, we may have speakers at the underneath the bridge, where a pre-recorded version of Pomp and Circumstance may be played while under the bridge.
And then the
that'd be great.
is supposed to be more of like a fun thing for kids to play throughout the parade. So on Spotify, you're able to invite people to add whatever music they want. So the idea was people could add their favorite songs throughout the years that, you know, might remind you of your time, you know, in high school or whatever. And then their traditional graduation music is going to be included as part of the virtual ceremony.
Okay, that makes sense. Great, great. And is the tradition of selecting a faculty speaker, is that part of the sort of graduation virtual videotaped piece of it?
Yes. So we have selected faculty speakers through a voting process. I think we went through 3 rounds of voting to ensure that we got a faculty member who had a majority of student votes. The students picked Kim Ely from the booth. So she will be speaking virtually. We'll also have other speakers, including the student body president and the class president, valedictorian, Dr. Donald, Mr. Shells, along with several others. And we'll all be filming that either on Lily or in front of the high school. I think right now we're leaning towards the high school just because of logistical reasons. It'll be easier to secure time to film at in front of the high school, as well as sort of get permission to film there. So we'll probably have that filmed between June 1st and June 5th. And then Jake Arnowitz, he's a junior. He's been very helpful throughout the whole process. Him and his team will be filming and editing the video together for release on June 13th.
And then will it be released at a certain time, or have you figured that part out yet?
Yes, so we're planning on doing a YouTube premiere of the video, probably before the parade at around 12 p.m. The exact time hasn't been decided yet, but it'll be before the parade on June 13th, so that students can watch the video as a YouTube premiere, so they can watch it all together before the parade starts, and then students can all embark on the parade together once it starts. So that should be around 12 p.m. on June 13th is what we're anticipating.
Okay, all right. Well, I like the fact that it's sort of keeping the order of a usual ceremony, and then obviously adding your creativity in meeting this this challenge head on. So I think it sounds wonderful. So, and I know, and I want to say that recognize everybody on the committee. I know there have been ups and downs. I know there have been fits and starts, and trying one idea and saying no, that's not going to work. We got to do something else. So the whole board really commends you for sticking with it and being creative. And this will be something you will never ever forget. So and it's going to be a happy, wonderful time. My last question would be: I'm looking outside and I'm seeing it's raining. Have you thought about a rain date, or what you would do if the weather turns kind of sour?
The one idea we have.
Yeah, so if it does, Maddie.
Oh God.
Now you can go. You can go.
So hard over Zoom.
Yeah.
There's like delays. We were thinking we were gonna go to that Saturday or Sunday. So if Saturday's raining,
okay,
the next day still have everything prepared. I don't know if there was another idea other than that as of right now.
No, our plan, Mrs. Lowe, is just what Maddie is saying. So the backup plan would be Sunday, and what we're doing right now is really just trying to make sure that the companies and the agencies involved would be able to do it the following day. So can all the professional photographers do so? Can the police officers who would be helping to supervise and ensure a safe route, would they be available? So we've got a little bit more work to do, but the conversation we had yesterday in committee during a real good productive meeting was, can we arrange a rain date for basically June 14th? But we're gonna hope June 13th is really, really nice and it's a perfect weather day for the kids and the families.
Of course, we'll put a special order in. So that sounds wonderful. My last question before I open it up to other board members. Do you have enough resources in terms of people and money? Is there anything that the Board of Ed that you need from the Board of Ed that you can think of?
My only concern as of right now is I've been taking control of the balloon arches, and we're going to have potentially 2 at the start and finish.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern is that if we do have that rain date, they've blown up all those balloons on, let's say, Saturday, and then it's a bust. I don't know if there's going to be like last minute, like you have to pay extra for the damage in the balloon. I don't know what kind of money we have to spend on these balloon arches, and I haven't gotten the estimate back yet. So I feel like that's an area, like decorations in general, I feel like that's an area where if we're hiring people to set these things up on Saturday and then it starts raining, are we going to have to pay them again on Sunday, or are we going to have to pay for any for more balloons because they're like deflated by Sunday? I don't know. I just don't know what the budget is for that so far.
Maddie, I'm told we have a balloon arch specialist. I think we can help you. We used some balloon arches at Convocation in the last year, and so I think we have. So I'll through Dr. O'Donnell, I'll put you in touch with somebody who can support you with that. Okay.
Awesome.
And we have our.
The board will be happy to kick in whatever extra funds are needed for extra time or overtime or double time or whatever it is. And that would go for the photographers and the decorations. So I'm sure we'd be happy to do that. So I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you, Bob.
No, upon saying that, Debbie, we really appreciate the board's support. And if we need a little bit extra resources, we will come to you. And Dr. Smith and I talked today, and he and the central office are always so supportive as well. And he said, you know, we're going to find a way to do what we need to do to celebrate this great class of 2020. So 3 of whom are right here with us, and we're going to make it a really good day for the kids. Yeah.
Great. Well, we had said in our portrait of a graduate, we wanted people that could be creative problem solvers and collaborators. So I can't think of a better real world example. I'm sorry it's been this particular challenge, but again, we want to commend you and just celebrate you. Are there any other questions or comments from other board members? I've sort of hogged the time. I apologize. Anyone else like to say anything?
Deb, really quickly, I just think Rashad, Maddie, and Patrick, you guys rock. Your eloquence and just keeping calm in all this has been so impressive. Thank you for coming on here. And I hope that the Spotify list is public so that some of us can feel cool and listen to some good music.
And I just want to echo Mandy and just say, you know, so well done to the committee and to you 3. And I have little ones in the school, and I think of my little ones growing up too as examples of you guys, and it just makes me super proud to be a member of the board and to be in Wilton and to be a parent here. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, just well done to all of you and the naysayers out there or whatever, and I have not seen any of it. They don't know how good you guys are. They really don't. And as students, you've done what you want to do and what you think will be exciting and fun and engaging and memorable, because that's what graduation is. And this is going to be one of the most memorable graduations that Wilton has ever seen. I'm sure of it. No doubt.
Yep.
You guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for stepping up and and taking on an event that you never expected you would have to do, and doing something that I think is going to be wonderful for everybody. So I so appreciate all of your efforts, and I understand that people cannot watch on the streets, but hopefully the people who live on the routes that you're going to be approved by will be out there to cheer you guys on.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Thank you. Any other? Yeah.
Just a couple of thoughts. Rashab, Maddie, and Patrick, I think on behalf of all of our staff, certainly you've heard it from our board members tonight. And I've heard this feedback from a lot of our community members too. Everybody seems to be very, very impressed with all of you. And you had me thinking, knowing that you were coming on tonight, about your leadership. And leaders, they have options. They get to make choices. It's not just about what decisions and what they do, but how they do it. And what has impressed me most recently is you guys have been working with a committee to come to some decisions. And even seeing it tonight, you're optimistic, you're enthusiastic. Some choices you made were courageous choices. And I'm really impressed with the three of you in how you are managing this situation. Nobody in a million years, I don't think, would have ever predicted that we'd be here today. And you seem to be, taking this on and doing it with some joy, which I'm really grateful for. And I think that's a choice, and you've made that choice. And what tremendous role models you are, not only for your peers, but for so many of us who have younger children in the system. So I'm really grateful for that. And thank you for your fine, fine leadership.
So I don't know if this is proper on Zoom, but can we give them a round of applause?
Yeah.
Jen, did you want to say something? I'm sorry, I might have cut you off.
You're fine. Just really quick. Thank you for everything, and congratulations, guys.
All right. So now we have to do the official business part. I'd like a motion to approve the Wilton High School class of 2020 graduation plans as outlined in Bob O'Donnell's letter and explained tonight by Maddie, Patrick, and Rashab. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
All right. Thank you, Gretchen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Glenn. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I think you have a unanimous support from the Board of Ed. So we're looking forward to a wonderful graduation. And again, thank you for your hard work and perseverance. So yay again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you guys, all of you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we have another agenda item. The three seniors are welcome to log off anytime the spirit moves you to log off. We'll understand. Thank you. I think.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I think it
Debbie,
was.
did you want me to update you guys on site or mail?
Yes, yeah. I think that was what I was going
so
back to.
sorry about that before. I just want to commend the high school. The unbelievable, and the student leadership. I couldn't be more proud of them. So I'm excited to see how that all turns out. But we're having our traditional closing house for all grade levels, where we'll be sharing the e-portfolio. So that's in grades 3, 4, and 5. We are having virtual field day and a virtual art show to end the year, and there'll be more information in our newsletter. We are having a celebrations kind of moving up caravan where the houses will be able to swing through cider mills just to wave goodbye to their teachers. As well, I know the yearbooks will be picked up during the student material plan that we're creating right now. So they'll have yearbooks, and then we are figuring out a way to get the certificates and everything to our students. So we are going to try to do our traditional celebrations and end the year on a very positive note and bring some closure to our students.
Great. Thank you.
Great.
All right. So it's good to have some happy news at this meeting to look forward to. So thanks to all of the principals and the teams working on this. Any questions for any of the other schools? All right. I think that's okay then. The next item is an update on district planning for reopening. Please do not ruin our good mood, but go ahead.
Hard. So as you know, we laid out 9 goals and we have committees working at each of those goals. I wanted to take a little bit of time tonight and ask Fran, who has been spearheading our work around really developing our blended learning model that's going to drive our instructional program for next year, to just catch us up on kind of where her team is and what they've been up to. So I'll turn it over at this point to Fran Kompar.
Okay. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. And I am, as all of you, so impressed with the students and all of the real wonderful celebrations that are going to be happening in the next couple of weeks in our district. And so telling of all the efforts that have been happening over the last couple of months from teachers, staff, students, parents. And as we are coming out of our emergency e-learning time, at the same time that we're planning all of these wonderful and befitting celebrations, we also have been looking at next year, and as basically in a kind of element of really planning purposefully for what we know, because there are so many uncertainties. The one item that we did talk about at our last Board of Education meeting is really having a system in place that will enable us to be able to do what we need to do, whatever the situation. We know that the situations are going to be so uncertain. So I had a few slides that I wanted to go through. I think I might be able to share. I'm not sure. Gonna try. No. So I think that if I can become a host or co-host, I think I might be able to share the slides with you. But to give you just an update, we've had a big group of folks, 60 plus people involved in looking at different learning management systems and looking at what our needs are for all the stakeholders. And you know, what we've really come to terms with is that we really need to look at next year as potentially a blended learning environment, meaning that we could, you know, look at doing face-to-face as well as online learning. And not that we know what that is exactly going to look like at this point. We do need to plan for what the systems are that have to be in place for that. I can actually now share my screen now, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the presentation. These are just a few slides to kind of walk you through where we've been and what our thinking has been. So I wanted to really just talk about blended learning as a way of really getting to what we need to do moving forward and moving the learning forward. So the first thing we needed to do is really try to define what is this blended learning approach. It is going to be something that you're probably going to hear a lot more about, because a lot of districts are going into this path as they're planning forward for next year. So really it combines the best of the approaches that have been happening right now online, but also with in-person and traditional classroom interaction, and being able to have a structure in place where you have those opportunities for independent work, but also practice, reflection, and there's a lot of control over time, place, and path. So that really requires a strategic integration of technology with some sort of a robust learning management system. That system should enable the ability of data, the ability to personalize instruction, and the ability to look at standards and standards-based progression as we do our curriculum and content delivery. And the actual learning management system is also a way to provide everyone, educators, students, and parents, who are all on the same team essentially in this time, a way to deliver on a vision for highly effective, engaging, and equitable education to every child. So why we looked at a learning management system. First of all, we really wanted to make sure that all the stakeholders, including the teachers, the parents, and the students, were involved within that system and able to access it easily. We are looking at being able to provide an actual parent portal through the system. And integration with our current student information system, PowerSchool, was really important. We want to honor everything that teachers are doing in G Suite, and we are very, very explicit about making sure that we're integrating with all of the documents and things that they have in their Google Drive, and that will continue. But within a couple of things: student data privacy, so we don't have parents actually logging into the students' Google Classrooms, which is a bit of an issue. Having easier collaboration and communication, and being able to have lots of different apps that can be embedded and integrated right within the system. So we did end up pre-K-12 with Schoology. The committee, including the elementary folks that saw demos, decided that this is the best way forward. And all of the things that I just mentioned are things that are contained within Schoology. So we're excited about the fact that it does have everything that we're looking for. It is also a system that we've been piloting at Genesis using for PD, and we've been actually using it as our curriculum mapping repository. So we've been using Schoology for the last couple of years. And I'm going to go into a little bit about how we're going to make sure that we support and we make sure that teachers are supported in transitioning to this. So I want to talk a little bit about the benefits. So for the students, it's streamlined. It is actually easy to learn. We've had a couple of students that have been on the council and have been playing in it and have reported back at actually our meetings that they really liked it. They liked the way that it was organized. They liked the fact that they can still get to their Google Suite documents. There's a digital calendar that will help with executive functioning. And the gradebook is actually integrated right within Schoology. So student doesn't need to go back and forth between PowerSchool, PowerTeacher, and Google Classroom within Schoology. It's all within that. It also integrates rubrics that are standards aligned that will help both the students and the teachers see their progress. There's a lot of different types of assessments. There are question banks, there are quizzes, they're easily graded, and some of them are graded automatically. And it's actually also a communication tool, so it makes it much easier to communicate with the students and families. So for parents, this is a very big difference. There's actually a different parent portal that is embedded in there. It is read-only. Parents that have multiple children in the system will be able to toggle between accounts, so they can go from one child to another and see what things have been assigned to them. There's also communication tools for them. There's an iOS, there are apps for phones, so it's a mobile type of system. And our parents are also able to create their own group, say for the PTA in Schoology, and use that as a communication tool. And again, that digital calendar that exists for students also exists for parents. This is a quick PSA, catch about a minute or so, that describes the parent account. Whoops, sorry, it does this thing to me. Okay, there it goes.
Parent accounts in Schoology were designed to give parents read-only access to their children's activities inside the LMS. It's important to recognize that parent accounts have certain limitations when compared to active student accounts. Parent accounts are not able to participate as a student in any course or group activity. Here, you can see a student account accessing a discussion in Schoology. The student account can participate and post in the discussion. The parent account is able to see the discussion in some cases, but cannot post. Student accounts can submit assignments on Schoology. Parent accounts can view their children's submissions, but cannot submit on their children's behalf. Student accounts can attempt submissions of quizzes and assessments. Parent accounts are unable to do so on their child's behalf. Student accounts can post inside of media albums. Parent accounts can view the media in the album, but cannot participate or post on their child's behalf. Once again, if you would like to view your child's courses and activity in Schoology, you can use your parent account, where you will see the light blue box at the top that lets you know you're viewing as your selected child. However, in order for your child to complete their coursework, they must be logged into their own student account.
Sorry about that. I can't seem to get out of it now.
Parent accounts in Schoology were designed to...
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to go back into the presentation. So basically what we're trying to do is take the online, in-person combination of blended learning and support it seamlessly by having a learning management system, which is Schoology. So as we go into next year, one of the first things that we will be doing is, as we normally do in our classrooms, we'll be building a community of learners. But as next year promises to be a little bit different than our normal beginning of the school year, we also will have online routines being started, and we will be doing digital citizenship, and we'll engage students in Schoology on how to use discussions, submit assignments, create e-portfolios, and engage them in that type of instruction so that they're comfortable with it. So as we move to supporting our staff, which is a very, very important part of this, we are looking at 4 levels of professional learning for staff. We're starting next week, as a matter of fact, with a comprehensive 6-hour training, which is sort of a train the trainer style for school leaders, curriculum leaders, our library learning commons staff, technology, instructional leaders, and others that will be supporting peers throughout the upcoming school year. After that, beginning on June 8th, we will have sessions that are 3 hours, and they're fundamentals of Schoology. Basically, they're beginning sessions so that teachers are a little bit more comfortable with using the actual features of Schoology. We will also be providing lots of different options for teachers so that if they can't do particular sessions, we will have other options even in the summer. And once they're done with the 3 hours, we will be providing, for those that want it, an optional paid curriculum day during the summer to actually construct their blended learning courses within Schoology. And all of this along with providing self-paced resources, videos, a virtual help desk, and small group type of work with our library learning commons staff when available. So this is really the different offerings that we have with the specifics that I just reviewed. And at the beginning of the school year, we will also have time on August 17th for our new teachers, as well as on the 20th and 21st for teachers to engage in the work of setting up their courses to be online as needed. And finally, communication is really key. We've begun doing work with meeting with different IL teams, groups of departments, and Dr. Smith has sent out communication to staff. We're planning on sending out communication to parents. And beginning the week after next, we will have a student module that will be used for students to actually get acquainted with Schoology just right now so that they have like a little bit of a taste of it. And then, like I said before, we will have students also participating in experiences at the beginning of the school year and also offer workshops for our parents for the new school year. Our last session with our council that has been meeting on a regular basis is going to be taking place next Tuesday. And after that, we have a number of subgroups actually engaging in all the work around it. So we do have a lot of, it's a lot of work, and I really thank everybody that's been involved. It's really been a big lift. I thank our teachers in advance. I know this is a very big ask for them as well. I think that we will get to the point where we will be able to support and get teachers to a level where they will actually benefit from some of the features of Schoology that will actually save them time. But we will at this time need to support them, and we will do that. Questions?
I have one. Earlier, there was discussion about teachers being trained on those 3 half-days with Schoology, and that's more of an intense time. And then everybody else is going to have other options. So I'm a little confused as to, are all the teachers getting the same training, or are there some that are getting more training than others?
So yes, that's there's 2 different trainings that are happening in the next couple of weeks. One is really for the train the trainer groups, the leadership group, library staff, those that might engage in working with their peers. The other, on those 3 half-days, we're talking about the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, there will be offerings for teachers to sign up for the 3-hour training that will be led by Schoology instructors, so that we make sure that everyone has a consistent experience.
Yeah, and so Gretchen, I'll just kind of double down on that idea. One thing that as we've been talking with staff all across the district, not everybody is ready to engage in this, now. And so we want to provide opportunities for those who are ready now, provide opportunities for those who are going to be, ready in the summer, and then, those who are ready still later in the summer because they need a bit more time. So we're trying to come at this with as much flexibility and responsiveness as we can possibly put together. So that's why you see those days set up that way.
Okay.
Kevin, obviously the Schoology thing seems to be a very comprehensive package that deals with both parents, students, teachers, etc. Two questions. Systemically, is our infrastructure capable, because it's very complex and very back and forth, whatever. Are we capable with our infrastructures we have today? And Eric, perhaps this is a question for you, to support the level and the workload and the demands that it would appear to be are going to be made on our system?
Yes, no, it's a very good question. Right now, our internet bandwidth and the hosting systems we have are fully capable of supporting everyone in the district using Schoology and PowerSchool and our online systems.
Okay, great.
We have the ability to work with our vendors to increase capacity if needed. But
okay, good. Well, that's good to know. I mean, it really seems to be a good solution for the combination of face-to-face and online, etc. And I think it's, and we just need to support it wholeheartedly to make it happen. The other question I have is not necessarily directed at Schoology, but assuming that our budget gets approved next Tuesday, I think it is, are we ready to commit to the investment that we've agreed to make in securing additional Chromebooks, iPads, whatever? Do we have our shopping list done? Is it set? And are we ready to place orders? Because the pipeline is going to get filled with orders. And are we?
Orders have already been placed for the Chromebooks, Glenn,
okay,
and the laptops. Those are already in process.
Okay.
Yeah, remember we leased them. I mean, we decided not to lease them and purchase them out of this year. Yeah, so those should be in the works. That's good.
That is okay. So good, because I'm sure that's going to be a critical need as we move forward with Schoology, to have everyone, on par or capable of handling the task. It looks like a really comprehensive and a good system. Kevin, very, very good. I think it answers so many questions. Parent engagement, parent involvement. It's now just a question of adopting it and making it happen.
Can I ask a question about what other districts in the area or in the state are using, like Power School. I know there's a lot of districts in Connecticut that use Power School. Can the same be said for Schoology? Is it a new tool? Has it been around for a while? Is it becoming more popular? I'm just thinking of teachers, if there are, sort of teachers in other districts that they could, sort of call up and say, is this thing going to be okay for me? Just a way of sort of establishing a network. But if there is one, I don't know. Is there?
So I've actually done some, calling our neighboring districts, and I do know a lot of the technology directors at the other schools. New Canaan High School has Schoology and has had it for, I believe, 3 years. They have been very kind and have offered to collaborate with us with some of their staff members that have been using it for a while if we would like to call on them. Westport has been using it for, I think it's about 6 or 7 years, a very long time. There are several districts that are now adopting it. It is becoming, a lot of districts are looking at blended learning as a need for the upcoming school year. And they're looking to learning management systems. Schoology happens to be now owned by Power School. So for districts like us that have Power School as our student information system, it makes a lot of sense to be connected with them.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, thanks, Fran. And again, once again, thanks to the teachers who are going to be undertaking this. And I'm glad that there's some flexibility built in and some time between now and then. So again, I think a major effort, but I am hopeful, like Glenn, it's kind of interesting to see the potential of that. And I'm thinking once people are over the learning hump that they'll have a very powerful tool. And I like the way it partners with the parents, but also ensures privacy between the parents and the students, because that's not appropriate. So that's going to be a real key of any online learning. So thanks.
Thank you.
We'll continue to update the board as we move forward with our progress and implementation, and just keep your apprised on how it's all going.
Okay. Is there anything else on the update for?
No, when we meet again next week, we'll have this as a standing item, and I'll expect to have some other updates at that point.
Okay, great.
Kevin, to the extent that we can put, and I have no idea what it is, pressure on the state to give us details and specifics about what their mandates are going to be and what their requirements are going to be, I can't impress enough how critical that is. Just as I said earlier, it's a simple thing like mask. What mask are they going to require? What's the life cycle? How are we going to procure them? If we're left to our own devices, as every school district in Connecticut perhaps would be, or is the state going to be the purchaser in mass, and we're going to draw from the state? Those things are going to be critical. I mean, we're going to need 5,000 masks a week, perhaps. And how are we going to go about getting them? And today, if you try and buy 5,000 masks, forget it. It's just not happening. So as we move forward with our plans for reopening, it's critical that we get the state to come up, make some decisions that we can act on and we can respond to. And I know you're on one of the committees there, but for us to be successful, we've got to insist that they come forward quickly and as soon as possible with what they're going to need from us, or what they're going to want from us in terms of our performance.
Yeah, I'd like the state to bring a check too to underwrite some of the costs of those things.
Well, absolutely.
Know that the communication lines are wide open, and we have a good conduit through the one very strong conduit through the State Superintendent's Association, who is in touch with the commissioner.
Well, I hope so. I mean, think about it. We could need 20,000 masks a month. I mean, that's not an unreasonable thing. If a mask lasts a week, and if the cloth you can wash, etc., that's only a week, a week's life. I mean, 20,000 masks. How are we going to get those?
Mm-hmm. Well, last week we were talking about thermometers. So all of the PPE is sort of out there.
Yeah.
And even if the state, even if they don't have the guidance now, could they give us a sense of a timeline? Because all we're going on right now is what's out there for summer school.
Yeah. And that's not terribly specific either.
Right, which is one model, but we kind of, even just a timeline to say we'll have more on such and such a date, or yeah.
They were specifying early to maybe mid-June to get some guidance.
Okay.
And I think if I was also going to push one request, because it is guidance, and so guidance is flexible to some extent depending on district size and budgets and needs. So I think it's going to continue, I think, the public policy background person in me to be a little vague. The lawyer in me says we really need to kind of have a better understanding about liability and what the state is going to, whether the state is going to be prepared to make some liability waivers or some maneuvers in those areas that recognize, rules versus guidance, and kind of what our requirements, are going to be on that front. I know that in the Reopen Connecticut, in the summer school guidance, it said something along those lines about how the state should consider, looking at waiving liability, but it was the state that was writing that paper. So I think that's something that should, if that can be pushed along a little bit, that would probably.
It's a very, very popular topic of conversation statewide, and among Andrea's group as well. That's been a major question. So certainly we continue to ask those questions.
Okay. I don't want to get depressed tonight, so I'm going to suggest that we not go down this road any further. No, I don't mean to cut off anything if somebody has something they want to add to this last agenda item. Okay, I don't see anybody. Are there any more public comments that came in, Lucille?
No, there's no public comments.
Okay. All right, and then we see that we have a meeting next week, and then we'll probably calendar some more after that. So we'll see you back here next Thursday, and thanks to everybody. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Doubles? All right. All right.
Kevin, thank you and your staff. Thank everybody for us.
Yeah,
please.
thanks once again.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, what Glenn said. Thank you.
Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.